a land where history stretches across millennia, where deserts meet seas and mountains rise to touch the clouds. Welcome to Saudi Arabia, a kingdom of contrasts, where ancient civilizations coexist with modern marvels, and every landscape tells a story of resilience, faith, and wonder. From the mysterious empty quarter, with dunes that shift like waves frozen in time, to the Red Sea's underwater kingdoms of color and life. This is a journey that will challenge your perception of what Saudi Arabia truly. Prepare to witness a country where every corner holds a secret, every city pulses with life, and every moment connects you to a legacy older than history itself. Buckle up for an unforgettable adventure through the most fascinating and diverse places on Earth. This is Saudi Arabia, like you've never seen before. Saudi Arabia, presenting it as one of the world's most misunderstood yet breathtaking destinations. Introduce the vastness of the Arabian Peninsula, its deserts, mountains, coastlines, and ancient civilizations. Focus on the feeling of discovery, mystery, and transformation. Emphasize Saudi Arabia as a land where time stands still and moves forward simultaneously, blending ancient heritage with modern ambition. End by setting emotional curiosity for the journey ahead. Few places on Earth challenge imagination the way Saudi Arabia does. Long seen through a narrow lens, this land reveals itself only to those willing to look deeper. Beyond headlines and assumptions lies a country of staggering beauty, ancient civilizations, and landscapes so vast they silence the mind. Saudi Arabia is not merely a destination, it is a revelation, a place where time stretches across millennia, where deserts breathe with history, and where a new future rises from ancient ground. This is the heart of the Arabian Peninsula, a land shaped by wind, sun, and resilience. Here, endless horizons meet dramatic mountains, and golden dunes roll like oceans frozen in motion. The land feels alive, powerful, and unapologetic. Every step across its soil carries echoes of traders, pilgrims, warriors, and poets who once crossed these same paths, guided by stars and faith. Saudi Arabia does not rush to impress, it waits, knowing its story is deeper than first impressions. At dawn, the desert glows with soft amber light, transforming silence into something sacred. At dusk, the sky ignites in shades of fire and violet, reminding you how small the modern world feels against such timeless beauty. This is a land where nature commands respect, where survival has always depended on wisdom, patience, and unity. The environment itself has shaped a culture rooted in strength, hospitality, and honor. Yet Saudi Arabia is not frozen in the past. Beneath its ancient surface, a nation is awakening, redefining itself with confidence and vision. Cities rise where caravans once passed. Art, culture, and innovation flourish alongside tradition. The rhythm of change is everywhere, but it does not erase history, it builds upon it. Old stone villages, sacred roots, and historic forts stand proudly beside modern skylines, telling a story of continuity rather than replacement. What makes Saudi Arabia truly fascinating is its duality. It is both harsh and gentle, vast and intimate. The desert can be unforgiving, yet it nurtures profound peace. The land may appear empty, yet it is full of meaning. In the quiet, you hear yourself think more clearly. In the openness, you feel something rare, a connection to something older than borders, older than nations. This country has always been a crossroads. For centuries, it linked continents through trade, belief, and culture. Ideas passed through here long before modern globalization existed. Faith shaped cities, commerce shaped coastlines, oral traditions carried wisdom across generations. Saudi Arabia has always been central, even when unseen. Today, the world is finally beginning to look closer. What it finds is not a single story, but many layered, complex, and deeply human. Stories written in stone cliffs and ancient tombs. Stories carried in music, poetry, and hospitality. Stories reflected in the eyes of people proud of their heritage and hopeful for what lies ahead. As this journey begins, understand this: Saudi Arabia is not here to be explained quickly. It must be felt slowly. It asks you to unlearn, to observe, to listen. It rewards curiosity with wonder and patience with perspective. Every landscape, every city, every silence carries meaning. This is a land of hidden wonders and open horizons. A land where the past is never forgotten and the future is being written boldly. And as we step deeper into Saudi Arabia, one truth becomes clear: this is not a place you simply visit. It is a place that changes how you see the world and how you see yourself. Explore AlUla as an open-air museum carved by time, wind, and forgotten civilizations. Highlight Hegra, Madain Salish, Nabatean tombs, ancient trade routes, and rock formations. Focus on awe, mystery, and the sense of walking through lost history. Emphasize the sacred stillness and spiritual depth of the landscape. Rising from the desert, like a mirage carved from time itself, AlUla feels less like a destination and more like a revelation. Long before modern borders existed, this valley was already alive with movement, trade, and belief. Today, it stands in near silence, its towering sandstone formations guarding stories that stretch back thousands of years. To arrive in AlUla is to step into a landscape where history is not written in books, but etched into stone. At first glance, the scale overwhelms the senses. Monumental rock, faces glow in shades of gold and rust, sculpted by wind and sun into shapes that feel both natural and intentional. These formations are not passive scenery. They are storytellers. Every curve, every shadow, every echo whispers of ancient civilizations that once thrived here, guided by water, trade, and the stars above. Hidden among these cliffs lies Hegra, known also as Madain Salih, the southern capital of the Nabatean kingdom. Here, massive tombs are carved directly into the rock, their facades precise and enduring. Standing before them, one feels the weight of time pressing gently but firmly. These were not merely graves, they were declarations of identity, power, and belief. Despite centuries of sand and silence, the carvings remain astonishingly intact, a testament to craftsmanship that defied the harshness of the desert. AlUla's importance was never accidental. This valley sat along ancient incense and spice routes, linking civilizations across Arabia, the Levant, and beyond. Caravans once passed through, carrying goods, languages, and ideas. Merchants, pilgrims, and explorers found shelter here, drawn by life-giving water sources hidden beneath the desert surface. In this place, survival demanded intelligence, cooperation, and deep respect for the land. As daylight shifts, AlUla transforms. Morning light softens the cliffs, revealing delicate textures carved by centuries of erosion. By afternoon, shadows deepen, adding drama and mystery. At sunset, the valley ignites in fiery hues, as if the earth itself remembers its former glory. Night brings a sky unpolluted by modern glare, where stars blanket the desert in silence, reconnecting the present to ancient celestial navigation. What makes AlUla truly powerful is not just its ruins, but its atmosphere. There is a stillness here that feels intentional, almost sacred. Sound travels differently. Time seems to slow. In the quiet, imagination fills the space, reconstructing scenes of bustling markets, camel caravans, and ceremonial gatherings. You do not merely observe AlUla, you inhabit its memory. Human presence here has always been intertwined with nature. The people who once lived in this valley, understood the desert's rhythms. They built with the land, not against it. Water systems, pathways, and settlements followed natural contours, proving that sustainability was not a modern invention but ancient wisdom. AlUla stands as proof that civilization can flourish even in the most unforgiving environments. Today, AlUla is awakening once more, not as a commercial spectacle, but as a preserved testament to humanity's shared heritage. Restoration efforts aim to protect its soul, allowing future generations to experience its quiet power without diminishing its integrity. The balance between access and preservation is delicate, and here, it feels deeply respected. AlUla does not shout its importance. It does not demand attention. Instead, it waits patient, enduring, confident in its legacy. To walk among its rocks is to feel both insignificant and deeply connected. It reminds us that civilizations rise and fall, but stories endure when they are carved into the earth itself. In AlUla, the past is not distant, it is present, breathing through stone and silence. And as you leave this valley behind, you carry with you more than images. You carry a sense of humility, a respect for time, and the understanding that some of the world's greatest wonders are not loud, but quietly eternal. Dive into Rub al Khali as the largest continuous sand desert on Earth. Focus on scale, silence, survival, and beauty. Describe shifting dunes, extreme temperatures, desert life, and Bedouin resilience. Convey how emptiness becomes powerful, humbling, and meditative. There is a place on Earth where silence stretches beyond imagination, where the horizon dissolves into waves of gold, and where the concept of distance loses all meaning. This is the Empty Quarter, the Rub al Khali, the largest continuous sand desert in the world. To enter it is to step into a realm ruled by extremes, where beauty and danger exist side by side, and where nature asserts its dominance with quiet authority. The desert does not welcome easily. It tests resolve, patience, and humility. Towering dunes rise like frozen oceans, some reaching heights taller than skyscrapers, their crests constantly reshaped by relentless winds. Every grain of sand carries the memory of movement, a reminder that nothing here is truly still. The landscape is alive, shifting, breathing, endlessly transforming beneath the sun. Heat defines the rhythm of life in the Empty Quarter. Daytime temperatures can be unforgiving, turning the land into a mirror of shimmering light. Yet as night falls, the desert cools, revealing a gentler side. The sky explodes with stars, unfiltered and infinite, as if the universe itself has drawn closer. In this vast emptiness, human presence feels fragile, almost temporary, a fleeting moment in a timeless world. Despite its harshness, the Empty Quarter is not lifeless. Beneath the dunes, life persists in remarkable ways. Hardy plants anchor themselves in shifting sand, drawing sustenance from deep underground. Animals adapted to extremes move quietly, conserving energy, surviving where survival seems impossible. This resilience is not accidental. It is the result of generations of adaptation, a testament to nature's ingenuity. For centuries, Bedouin tribes crossed these sands guided by instinct, stars, and inherited wisdom. They understood the desert not as an enemy, but as a teacher. Survival depended on reading subtle signs, the direction of the wind, the shape of dunes, the presence of water hidden far below the surface. Stories, poetry, and songs were born here, shaped by long journeys and endless horizons. The Empty Quarter was not a void, it was a homeland. The scale of the Rub al Khali humbles even the most seasoned traveler. Without landmarks, direction becomes a mental challenge. Time stretches, thoughts slow. The desert strips life down to essentials, forcing clarity. In this environment, distractions disappear, and introspection takes their place. The mind becomes quiet, tuned to the rhythm of breath and movement. Light transforms the desert throughout the day. Morning casts soft shadows across rippling sand, revealing intricate patterns that vanish by noon. Afternoon brings intensity, the sun dominating the sky with raw power. At sunset, dunes glow in deep amber and crimson, as if lit from within. Each moment feels fleeting, yet eternal, a contradiction that defines the desert experience. The empty quarter has long inspired awe and fear in equal measure. Explorers once spoke of it as an uncrossable sea. Maps marked it as unknown, dangerous, endless. Yet those who ventured into its depths discovered something profound, not just about the land, but about themselves. Here, ego fades, nature sets the rules. Survival becomes a dialogue between human determination and environmental reality. Modern technology may ease passage today, but it does not diminish the desert's authority. The empty quarter remains untamed, vast beyond comprehension. Roads fade quickly into sand, signals disappear. The land reminds you that progress does not equal control, and that some places exist beyond human dominance. To experience the empty quarter is to confront scale, silence, and solitude in their purest forms. It teaches patience, respect, and humility. It shows that emptiness can be full of meaning, that stillness can be powerful, and that survival is not always about conquering, but about understanding. As you leave the Rub al Khali behind, its presence lingers. The memory of endless dunes, burning sun, and star-filled nights stays etched in the mind. The empty quarter does not follow you physically, but it changes how you measure space, time, and yourself forever. Describe the atmosphere of devotion, unity, and peace. Focus on the emotional experience of these holy cities, their historical depth, and their global significance. Avoid instruction center on reverence, history, and the feeling of timeless faith shaping millions of lives. There are places in the world where the atmosphere feels different the moment you arrive, where the air itself carries meaning. Makkah and Madinah are such places. They are not defined by scenery or architecture alone, but by an emotional gravity that transcends geography. These cities are the spiritual heart of Islam, destinations that have drawn millions for centuries, united by faith, devotion, and a sense of purpose far greater than the individual. In Makkah, history and spirituality converge with profound intensity. This is a city that has existed as a center of belief and gathering since ancient times, long before modern skylines rose around it. The rhythms of life here move to a different tempo, shaped by prayer, reflection, and unity. The feeling is not one of spectacle, but of deep focus, an inward pull that quiets the mind and centers the soul. People from every corner of the world arrive, carrying different languages, cultures, and stories. Yet they stand together as one, bound by shared belief. Time feels layered in Makkah. Every step echoes with centuries of devotion, with generations who walk these paths, seeking meaning, forgiveness, and closeness to the divine. The city teaches humility. Individual identity fades into collective purpose, and the idea of belonging expands beyond nationality or background. Here, the human experience feels distilled to its essence: faith, intention, and surrender. Madinah offers a different, gentler energy. Where Makkah feels powerful and overwhelming, Madinah feels calm and embracing. It is a city of reflection and peace, known for its tranquility and spiritual warmth. The pace slows naturally, inviting contemplation rather than intensity. Many describe a sense of comfort here, as though the city itself offers rest to the heart. The history of Madinah is deeply tied to community, compassion, and guidance. It was here that foundations of a unified society were laid, rooted in justice, kindness, and mutual respect. That spirit still lingers. Streets feel quieter, moments feel longer, and reflection comes easily. The atmosphere encourages gratitude and mindfulness, reminding visitors that strength and gentleness can exist together. What makes these cities extraordinary is not only their significance, but their continuity. Despite centuries of change, expansion, and modern development, their spiritual core remains untouched. Technology and infrastructure have grown to support millions of visitors, yet the essence of devotion has not been diluted. The past and present coexist seamlessly, showing that progress does not have to erase purpose. Makkah and Medina also represent unity on a global scale. They are among the few places on Earth where diversity gathers not in division, but in harmony. Differences dissolve into shared rituals and shared silence. In these moments, the world feels smaller, closer, more connected. The experience reshapes perspective, reminding visitors of values that transcend daily concerns. These cities are not meant to be consumed quickly or explained easily. Their impact unfolds inwardly, often quietly, long after the journey ends. They leave an imprint not through visuals alone, but through emotion and memory. Even those who speak softly about their time here carry a depth that words struggle to capture. Makkah and Medina are reminders of something timeless, that humanity has always searched for meaning beyond material life. They stand as symbols of devotion, discipline, and hope, anchoring millions to something greater than themselves. In a rapidly changing world, these cities remain constants, guiding hearts across generations. To experience Makkah and Madinah is to encounter faith not as an idea, but as a living presence. They do not simply mark locations on a map. They shape lives, inspire purpose, and reinforce the idea that some places exist beyond travel. Explore Riyadh as a city of transformation. Highlight Diriyah, modern architecture. Vision 2030, culture and ambition. Emphasize contrast, old and new. Heritage and innovation, showing how Saudi Arabia is reshaping its identity while honoring its roots. Rising from the heart of the Arabian Peninsula, Riyadh stands as a powerful symbol of Saudi Arabia's past, present, and future. At first glance, it is a city of striking contrasts. Ancient fortresses standing in the shadow of soaring skyscrapers. Quiet traditions coexisting with bold ambition. Yet this contrast is not conflict, it is continuity. Riyadh is a city that remembers where it came from, while confidently stepping toward what it is becoming. Long before glass towers defined its skyline, Riyadh was a desert settlement built on resilience. Life here demanded strength, cooperation, and foresight. The city grew around water sources and trade routes, becoming a vital center in Central Arabia. These origins still shape its character today. Beneath the modern exterior lies a deeply rooted identity, grounded in heritage, hospitality, and pride. At the soul of Riyadh lies Diriyah, the birthplace of the Saudi state. Its mud brick architecture and historic pathways tell a story of unity, leadership, and endurance. Walking through Diriyah feels like stepping into the foundations of a nation, where alliances were formed and traditions preserved. The earthy tones of its walls, shaped by sun and sand, speak of a time when survival depended on community and vision. This heritage remains a source of strength, anchoring Riyadh amid rapid change. Modern Riyadh, however, pulses with momentum. Towering structures pierce the sky, reflecting sunlight and ambition in equal measure. The city's streets hum with energy, innovation, and purpose. Cultural centers, galleries, and public spaces are redefining urban life, offering platforms for expression and creativity. Riyadh is not simply expanding, it is evolving, carefully crafting a future that honors its identity while embracing global connection. This transformation is visible in every aspect of daily life. Education, art, technology, and entertainment flourish alongside tradition. Young voices rise confidently, blending respect for heritage with fresh ideas. Cafes, museums, and festivals create spaces for dialogue, reflection, and celebration. The city feels alive with possibility, driven by a generation eager to shape tomorrow without losing sight of yesterday. Riyadh's architecture tells its story clearly. Historic forts and palaces ground the city in memory, while contemporary designs reflect innovation and openness. This visual dialogue between old and new symbolizes a broader cultural balance, one that values progress without erasing roots. The city demonstrates that tradition and modernity can strengthen one another rather than compete. Despite its size and pace, Riyadh retains moments of quiet dignity. In the early morning, the city slows, sunlight casting gentle shadows across streets and structures. Evenings bring families together, reinforcing bonds of community that remain central to Saudi life. Hospitality here is not ceremonial. It is lived daily, expressed through generosity, respect, and shared experience. Riyadh is also a place of leadership and vision. Decisions made here resonate far beyond city limits, shaping national direction and global perception. Yet at its core, the city remains deeply human. It is built not just of steel and stone, but of stories, aspirations, and collective effort. Every transformation reflects the determination of a people choosing progress with purpose. To experience Riyadh is to witness a nation in motion. It is a city that does not deny its past, nor does it fear its future. Instead, it stands confidently between both, drawing strength from history while building boldly ahead. Riyadh invites visitors to see beyond stereotypes, to recognize complexity, and to appreciate transformation grounded in identity. As the city lights illuminate the desert night, Riyadh reveals its true character not just as a capital, but as a statement, a declaration that heritage and ambition can coexist, that change can honor tradition, and that the future can rise from the deepest roots. In Riyadh, Saudi Arabia's story continues to unfold, written with intention, pride, and vision. Explore Jeddah's historic Al-Balad, choral houses, bustling souks, and cosmopolitan spirit. Focus on trade, diversity, art, and openness. Contrast old port life with modern waterfront development. Convey warmth, rhythm, and cultural fusion. Where the desert meets the sea, Jeddah unfolds with a rhythm unlike any other city in Saudi Arabia. From the very first breath of salty air, there is a sense of openness here, a feeling shaped by centuries of trade, travel, and cultural exchange. Jeddah has always been a gateway, welcoming travelers, merchants, and pilgrims from across the world, and that spirit of connection still flows through its streets today. The Red Sea defines the soul of the city. Its waters shimmer beneath the sun, stretching endlessly toward the horizon, carrying memories of ancient ships and modern ambitions alike. Along the coast, life moves with the tides. The sea brings cool breezes, color, and calm, balancing the intensity of the desert beyond. In Jeddah, water is not just scenery, it is history, livelihood, and identity. At the heart of the city lies Al-Balad, Jeddah's historic district, where time seems to slow. Narrow alleyways wind between coral stone houses built from Red Sea reefs, their wooden balconies intricately carved and weathered by generations. These structures were designed for both beauty and survival, allowing air to circulate in the heat while offering privacy and shade. Walking through Al-Balad feels like stepping into a living archive, where walls whisper stories of traders, families, and pilgrims who passed through on journeys that shaped continents. Jeddah's role as a port city made it a meeting point of cultures. Languages, cuisines, and traditions blended naturally here, creating a social fabric rich in diversity. This openness remains one of the city's defining traits. Markets buzz with conversation, aromas of spices drift through the air, and hospitality feels effortless. The city does not merely tolerate difference, it thrives on it. As the sun sets, Jeddah transforms. The Corniche comes alive with movement and reflection. Families gather along the waterfront, laughter mixing with the sound of waves. The sky shifts through shades of orange and violet, mirrored by the sea below. Moments like these reveal Jeddah's emotional warmth, a city that values togetherness, presence, and shared experience. Modern Jeddah stands confidently alongside its history. Contemporary art installations, cultural festivals, and evolving architecture signal a city embracing creativity and expression. Murals, color walls once bare, galleries open doors to new voices, and public spaces invite interaction. Jeddah's art scene reflects its identity, bold, expressive, and shaped by global influence without losing local soul. The city's connection to pilgrimage adds another layer of meaning. For centuries, travelers arriving by sea would pass through Jeddah on their way to the holy cities. This responsibility shaped its character, instilling values of service, tolerance, and respect. Even today, that legacy remains visible in the city's rhythm and mindset. Jeddah understands movement, transition, and the importance of welcoming the world. Despite growth and modernization, Jeddah retains an easy coastal pace. Life here feels less hurried, more fluid. Cafes overlook the sea, conversations stretch into the night, and daily routines follow a rhythm guided as much by the ocean as by the clock. This balance between progress and ease gives the city its distinctive charm. Jeddah is not defined by a single image or moment. It is a mosaic, historic yet modern, traditional yet expressive, local yet global. Its beauty lies in contrast and continuity, in the way old coral walls stand proudly near contemporary avenues. It teaches that identity does not need to be rigid to be strong. To experience Jeddah is to feel Saudi Arabia's openness and warmth reflected through the lens of the sea. It is a city shaped by arrivals and departures, by stories carried across water and passed down through generations. Long after leaving, the memory of Jeddah lingers not as a landmark, but as a feeling of connection, rhythm, and quiet invitation. Explore untouched coral reefs, marine biodiversity, and pristine coastlines. Focus on serenity, color, and underwater life. Emphasize conservation, natural purity, and how Saudi Arabia's Red Sea rivals the world's best marine destinations. Beneath the surface of the Red Sea lies a world that feels almost unreal, a realm of color, motion, and life untouched by time. While deserts and mountains often define Saudi Arabia in the imagination, its Red Sea coastline hides one of the planet's most extraordinary marine environments. Here, crystal clear waters reveal vibrant coral gardens, schools of shimmering fish, and ecosystems that thrive in near-perfect balance. The Red Sea is ancient, yet astonishingly alive. Its coral reefs are among the most diverse and resilient in the world, surviving in conditions that would challenge many marine systems. These corals glow in brilliant shades of blue, pink, and gold, forming underwater cities that shelter countless species. Fish move in synchronized patterns, while rays glide silently across the seabed. Every moment beneath the surface feels choreographed, as if nature itself is performing. What makes this marine paradise truly remarkable is its purity. Much of Saudi Arabia's Red Sea remains untouched by mass tourism, preserving a level of clarity and biodiversity that has become rare elsewhere. Visibility stretches far into the distance, allowing light to dance through the water and illuminate intricate details of coral formations. The experience is not overwhelming. It is calming, immersive, and deeply humbling. Above the water, the coastline tells its own story. Pristine beaches stretch for miles, their sands meeting the sea in gentle curves. The air carries a sense of tranquility, interrupted only by waves and wind. These shores feel timeless, as if they have been waiting quietly, undisturbed, for generations. The absence of crowds enhances the sense of discovery, turning every encounter with the sea into a personal moment. Life along the Red Sea has always been closely tied to the ocean. Fishing communities learn to read tides and currents, drawing sustenance while respecting the balance of nature. This relationship fostered a deep understanding of marine rhythms, passed down through generations. The sea was not merely a resource, it was a partner in survival, shaping culture and daily life along the coast. As sunlight fades, the Red Sea reveals another dimension. The water darkens, reflecting the sky's changing colors, while beneath the surface, nocturnal life awakens. Creatures adapted to darkness emerge, continuing the cycle unseen by most. This hidden activity underscores a simple truth: the sea never rests. Its life pulses continuously, independent of human schedules or awareness. Conservation plays a growing role in preserving this fragile beauty. Recognizing the Red Sea's global ecological value, efforts are underway to protect its reefs, coastlines, and marine species. Sustainability here is not an afterthought, it is a necessity. The goal is not to conquer the sea, but to coexist with it, ensuring that its wonders remain intact for future generations. Emotionally, the Red Sea offers something rare, a sense of calm paired with wonder. Floating above coral gardens, time seems to dissolve. The mind quiets, focused only on breath, movement, and color. It becomes clear that beauty does not need to shout. Sometimes it whispers, inviting stillness and respect. The Red Sea challenges perceptions of Saudi Arabia as solely a land of sand and stone. It reveals another identity, one shaped by water, life, and vibrant color. This contrast deepens appreciation for the country's diversity, showing how drastically landscapes can shift within a single border. To experience the Red Sea is to enter a sanctuary. It reminds us that the most extraordinary worlds often exist just beyond sight, waiting beneath the surface. Long after leaving the water, the memory of weightlessness, clarity, and living color remains, echoing the realization that Saudi Arabia's wonders are not only found on land, but in the silent, thriving depths of its seas. Explore Asir's cool climate, terrace villages, traditional architecture, and cultural identity highlight how this region defies desert stereotypes. Focus on nature, altitude, and ancient lifestyles preserved in harmony with the land. In the northwestern heart of Saudi Arabia lies a landscape that feels carved from memory itself, a place where stone preserves the voices of ancient civilizations. AlUla is not merely a destination, it is an open-air archive of human history, written across towering sandstone cliffs, hidden tombs, and valleys, shaped by wind and time. Every step here feels like walking through a living museum, where the past stands upright and unhidden. The first impression of AlUla is silence. Not emptiness, but a deep, resonant stillness that allows the land to speak. Massive rock formations rise from the desert floor like natural monuments, their surfaces etched with centuries of erosion. As sunlight moves across them, shadows stretch and retreat, revealing new shapes with every passing hour. The landscape is constantly changing, yet it has remained fundamentally the same for thousands of years. At the center of AlUla's global significance lies Hegra, also known as Madain Salish. This ancient Nabatean city predates many of the world's most famous historical sites, yet it remained largely hidden from the wider world for centuries. Dozens of monumental tombs are carved directly into rose-colored rock faces, their facades astonishingly precise and symmetrical. These were not crude carvings, but architectural statements, symbols of power, belief, and mastery over stone. Standing before these tombs evokes a powerful sense of continuity. The Nabateans were skilled traders, engineers, and artists who understood both beauty and durability. Their carvings have resisted time, sandstorms, and silence. Each doorway, inscription, and decorative detail tells a story of a civilization deeply connected to trade routes, astronomy, and spiritual life. Beyond the tombs, AlUla unfolds as a cultural crossroads. Ancient inscriptions in multiple languages appear on rock faces, evidence of travelers who once passed through this valley on journeys between Africa, Asia, and the Mediterranean. These markings are quiet testimonies of movement, exchange, and shared human experience. AlUla was never isolated, it was connected to the world long before modern borders existed. Nature and history blend seamlessly here. Date palms line oases, valleys, nourished by underground water systems that sustained communities for generations. These green corridors cut through the desert like lifelines, offering shade, sustenance, and balance. The contrast between fertile ground and towering stone reinforces how carefully ancient societies learned to live with the land rather than against it. As evening approaches, AlUla transforms. The rocks absorb the warmth of the day and release it slowly as the sky deepens into amber and indigo. When night falls, the stars emerge with startling clarity. With minimal light pollution, the sky becomes a vast canopy, echoing the same stars that guided caravans centuries ago. In this moment, time feels suspended, past and present aligned under the same universe. Modern preservation efforts ensure that AlUla is not frozen in time, but respected. Restoration, research, and sustainable tourism are reshaping how the world engages with this heritage. The goal is not spectacle, but understanding. Visitors are invited to listen, observe, and reflect rather than consume. Emotionally, AlUla leaves a lasting imprint. It challenges the idea that history is distant or abstract. Here, history is tangible, touchable, and alive in the stone beneath your feet. It reminds us that civilizations rise, adapt, and fade, but their stories endure when the land is allowed to remember. AlUla reveals Saudi Arabia as a guardian of deep human history. Beyond modern skylines and rapid transformation lies a commitment to honoring ancient roots. In this timeless valley, the past does not feel gone. It feels present quietly, waiting for those willing to slow down and listen. Explore Saudi culture, traditions, music, dress, food, and Bedouin values. Focus on generosity, honor, storytelling, and deep-rooted identity. Convey emotional warmth and timeless cultural continuity. High in the southwest of Saudi Arabia, where clouds drift low and mountains rise in layered shades of green and stone, lies a side of the kingdom few expect to find. The Asir region feels like a different world, altogether cooler in climate, richer in color, and deeply rooted in traditions that have survived for centuries. This is a land where nature softens the desert's edge and culture lives openly in everyday life. The journey into Asir is a gradual transformation. Harsh plains give way to winding mountain roads, terraced hillsides, and forests of juniper that cling to steep slopes. The air grows cooler, lighter, carrying the scent of rain-soaked earth during the monsoon season. Clouds roll through valleys like rivers in the sky, sometimes settling so low they wrap entire villages in mist. It is a rare and striking contrast to the image many hold of Saudi Arabia. At the heart of the region lies Abha, a mountain city perched high above sea level. From its viewpoints, the world seems to fall away beneath you. Deep valleys stretch endlessly, carved over millions of years, while sunlight breaks through clouds in shifting beams. Abha is not only scenic, it is cultural. Markets echo with local dialects, and traditional music drifts through public spaces, blending modern life with ancient rhythms. Scattered across the mountains are the iconic Azeri villages, built from stone and mud, often rising several stories high. These structures are both practical and artistic. Thick walls regulate temperature, keeping interiors warm in winter and cool in summer. Windows are small but carefully placed, and interiors are decorated with al-Khat al-Asiri, a traditional geometric wall art painted by women, using bold colors and symbolic patterns. This art is not decoration alone. It is identity, passed from generation to generation. Life in Asir follows the land. Terraced farming covers entire hillsides, creating green staircases that catch rainwater and prevent erosion. Crops, such as millet, corn, and coffee, have been grown here for centuries using techniques refined through observation and patience. These terraces stand as proof of harmony between people and environment, an ancient solution to survival in rugged terrain. One of the region's most powerful experiences comes at the edge of the mountains, where cliffs drop sharply into vast valleys. From these heights, silence dominates. The wind moves through trees, clouds drift below your feet, and the scale of the land humbles every thought. It is a place that invites reflection, reminding visitors how small they are within the wider rhythm of nature. Asir is also a place of stories. Oral traditions remain strong, with elders recounting tales of tribal alliances, historic battles, and seasonal migrations. These stories are not written in books, but carried in memory, song, and poetry. Even today, community gatherings keep these narratives alive, ensuring the past continues to shape the present. When evening falls, mountain sunsets paint the sky in deep oranges, purples, and golds. Temperatures drop quickly, and lights flicker on across hillsides like scattered stars. The atmosphere becomes intimate, calm, and deeply human. Unlike the vast emptiness of the desert, Asir feels close, protective, and alive. The Asir region challenges every expectation of Saudi Arabia. It reveals a kingdom of diversity, not only in landscapes, but in lifestyles, climates, and cultural expression. Here, Saudi Arabia breathes differently. It slows down, cools off, and opens its arms to a heritage shaped by mountains, rain, and resilience. Bring together landscapes, people, history, and ambition. Emphasize Saudi Arabia's evolution, global openness, and future vision. End with emotional resonance. Saudi Arabia not as a destination, but as an experience that challenges assumptions and stays with the traveler forever. Nestled along Saudi Arabia's eastern coast, the province of Eastern Arabia unfolds a landscape both unexpected and extraordinary. Far from the mountains of Asir or the deserts of the Empty Quarter, this region presents a different kind of majesty. The glittering waters of the Arabian Gulf, historic ports, and a culture deeply intertwined with the sea. Here, the rhythm of life has always been dictated by tides, trade winds, and human ingenuity, blending tradition with the modern pulse of industry and commerce. The city of Dammam, the provincial capital, serves as the beating heart of this region. Modern yet rooted, it reflects Saudi Arabia's ambitious vision for the future without losing connection to its coastal heritage. Its skyline rises in gleaming arcs and towers, reflecting the sun as it dances off glass and steel. Yet, stroll through the older districts, and you encounter markets alive with the scent of spices, freshly baked bread, and incense, a reminder that commerce and culture have always coexisted here. Along the coast, Dhahran and Khobar demonstrate the strategic significance of Eastern Arabia. These cities are hubs of energy, innovation, and global connection. From oil extraction to shipping routes, the region has long played a central role in the modern world economy. Yet even amid bustling industrial activity, nature remains present. Palm groves sway in coastal breezes, and mangroves line quieter shores, providing habitat for birds and marine life, as if the land insists upon balance. The Red Sea may hold mysteries and coral gardens, but the Arabian Gulf offers its own underwater wonders. Shallow waters teem with fish, colorful coral reefs, and rare species adapted to warmer, calmer seas. For centuries, fishermen navigated these waters using knowledge passed down across generations. Pearling, once the cornerstone of local economy, shaped communities, culture, and even social structure. The sea was not just a resource, it was a lifeline, teacher, and connector to distant lands. Heritage is deeply embedded in Eastern Arabia's architecture. Old forts and watchtowers dot the coastline, guarding against invaders and protecting trade routes. Their stones are weathered by salt, sun, and wind, yet they stand as resilient symbols of a people attuned to both land and sea. Villages retain elements of traditional design: wind towers for natural cooling, intricate woodwork, and patterns that blend function with art. These structures reveal a deep understanding of environment, climate, and human comfort. Culturally, Eastern Arabia thrives on its maritime history. Music, dance, and poetry often reflect the ebb and flow of the ocean. Rhythms mimic the tides, while lyrics carry tales of journeys, storms, and distant horizons. Festivals celebrate both land and water, honoring heritage while embracing community. Even today, these coastal traditions maintain relevance, bridging past and present. The region's climate shapes its identity. Summers are warm, sometimes harsh, but tempered by coastal breezes. Winters bring gentle sunshine and calm waters, drawing visitors to beaches and public spaces. The interplay between desert and sea creates microclimates, fostering biodiversity and unique ecosystems. Migratory birds use the Gulf as a waypoint, adding to the region's natural richness. Eastern Arabia also embodies transition between traditional life and modernity, between desert hinterlands and coastal cosmopolitanism. Highways connect ancient towns to industrial hubs. Airports link the kingdom to international trade and travel. Yet, despite modernization, a strong sense of place remains. The identity of the region is inseparable from the water, the wind, and the rhythm of daily life. Experiencing Eastern Arabia is to witness a harmonious blend of extremes. Industry and nature coexist. History and progress intertwine. Culture and economy complement one another. It teaches that resilience is not only surviving harsh conditions, but thriving while honoring roots. As the sun sets over the Gulf, casting golden reflections across calm waters, one senses the enduring pulse of this land. Stretching beyond the Gulf Coast, the eastern provinces, Saudi Arabia reveal landscapes and experiences that defy expectation. Here, salt flats glimmer under the sun. Small islands dot the coastline, and hidden oases provide life amid sandy expanses. The environment is simultaneously harsh and inviting, a paradox that has shaped human settlement, commerce, and culture for centuries. Every feature tells a story of survival, ingenuity, and connection to nature. The Al-Aqsa Oasis, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, embodies this delicate balance between abundance and aridity. Spanning thousands of hectares, it is one of the world's largest natural oases, sustained by underground springs that have fed palms, crops, and communities for millennia. Walking through Al-Aqsa, one is struck by its green expanses, palm trees, citrus groves, and verdant canals carved with precision to distribute water. Life here thrives against the odds, a testament to human ingenuity and respect for natural resources. Al-Aqsa's villages tell stories of daily life that has remained remarkably consistent across generations. Narrow alleys lead to homes built with mud bricks. Shaded courtyards invite gatherings, and local markets hum with the trade of fresh produce, handicrafts, and spices. Here, tradition is not performative, it is lived, embedded in every gesture, every conversation, every seasonal ritual. The oasis demonstrates that prosperity need not be grandiose to be enduring. Beyond the oasis, the eastern desert offers vast salt flats that shimmer like mirrors, creating surreal landscapes under the high sun. These expanses appear infinite, their surfaces cracked into geometric patterns by heat and evaporation. The silence is profound. Footsteps echo across the ground, and the horizon blurs between earth and sky. Travelers find themselves humbled, confronted by both scale and stillness. The desert's beauty is stark, demanding attention without distraction. The region's islands, accessible by boat, provide yet another dimension. Small, uninhabited, and pristine, they serve as sanctuaries for marine life and migratory birds. Coral reefs flourish just offshore, and the interplay of water, sand, and sky creates scenes of vibrant color and movement. These islands remind visitors that Eastern Arabia's beauty is not confined to human settlements. It extends seamlessly into the natural world, offering experiences that feel intimate yet vast. Eastern Arabia also carries a rich historical legacy. The region was historically a crossroads of trade, linking Persia, India, and the Arabian interior. Archaeological sites reveal settlements, fortifications, and trade centers, indicating long-standing cultural and economic connections. Even today, maritime activity reflects this heritage, with modern ports and shipping lanes echoing centuries of commerce. Cultural life thrives alongside natural beauty. Traditional music, poetry, and dance reflect both desert and coastal influences, blending rhythms of waves and wind with human expression. Festivals celebrate harvests, religious observances, and communal life, reinforcing social bonds and intergenerational knowledge. Here, heritage is dynamic, not static, continuing to adapt while preserving core values. The climate shapes more than survival, it influences lifestyle, architecture, and social practices. High temperatures demand shaded courtyards, water-efficient farming, and coastal breezes. Seasonal rainfall, though scarce, revitalizes the land and supports life cycles. Understanding this environment requires respect, observation, and adaptation, qualities that generations of inhabitants have cultivated with care. To experience Eastern Arabia fully is to understand contrast between desert and oasis, tradition and modernity, land and sea. It is a region where extremes coexist, where human creativity meets natural endurance, and where culture thrives amid environmental challenges. Every step offers perspective on resilience, continuity, and the capacity to flourish in unexpected places. As the journey through Saudi Arabia draws toward its conclusion, one cannot help but reflect on the extraordinary diversity of the kingdom's landscapes and cultures. From the towering dunes of the empty quarter to the serene oases of the east, from the bustling modern cities to the quiet, ancient mountains, every region offers a unique story. The final chapter of this exploration reveals a synthesis of the natural, historical, and cultural wonders that make Saudi Arabia an unparalleled destination. In the eastern coastal cities, modern development meets centuries of maritime tradition. Dammam, Dhahran, and Al Khobar are not only economic centers but living examples of how culture and commerce can coexist. The skyline tells one story: ambition, innovation, and progress, while the streets, markets, and coastline tell another: heritage, human connection, and harmony with the environment. This duality is a hallmark of Saudi Arabia. Progress built on a foundation of tradition. The Red Sea, stretching along the western coast, presents another facet of the kingdom's natural wealth. Its coral reefs, crystal waters, and hidden marine ecosystems remind us that Saudi Arabia's treasures are not confined to land. Diving or snorkeling here is an invitation to witness life in vibrant color, a silent dance beneath the waves that has continued for millennia. The sea demonstrates resilience, interdependence, and the delicate balance necessary to sustain life, a lesson mirrored in human endeavors across the kingdom. Moving inland, the historical richness becomes evident. AlUla and Hegra stand as monumental reminders of civilizations long past, yet strikingly preserved. Every carved facade, every ancient inscription, every terrace communicates the ingenuity of ancestors who shaped the desert into habitable and meaningful space. Here, history is not static. It lives in the stones, the pathways, and the stories that have endured through centuries, inviting modern visitors to step into a narrative far larger than themselves. In the south, the Asir mountains and cities like Abba illustrate another kind of beauty, lush, elevated, and intimate. Terrace farms, green valleys, and mist-covered peaks offer an emotional and sensory contrast to the arid north. Traditional arts, such as Al-Khat el-Asiri wall painting, create a bridge between everyday life and cultural expression, reminding visitors that heritage is experienced, not just observed. The mountains emphasize the importance of adaptation, patience, and respect for nature's rhythms. The empty quarter, with its vast seas of sand, remains the kingdom's ultimate test of scale and solitude. Its endless dunes teach humility, endurance, and the profound silence that comes when human presence is small against the backdrop of eternity. Yet even here, life persists in subtle ways, proving that resilience and beauty can exist where least expected. It is a lesson applicable both to the natural world and human spirit. Through all these regions, a unifying theme emerges. Saudi Arabia is a land of contrasts, yet harmony defines it. Extreme landscapes exist alongside fertile valleys. Ancient cities coexist with modern metropolises. Silence and solitude meet energy and celebration. Each experience, whether in the desert, mountains, coast, or city, contributes to a larger understanding of the kingdom's identity. Cultural heritage binds these experiences together. Traditions of hospitality, music, poetry, and craftsmanship connect modern citizens with their ancestors, preserving values that transcend time. Festivals, markets, and religious practices reveal a society deeply rooted yet open to the world. Visitors witness continuity, not just survival, highlighting the human capacity to adapt while honoring legacy. As the sun sets over the desert, mountains, or gulf, light shifts, emphasizing textures, colors, and forms that transform the landscape. It is a moment that encapsulates Saudi Arabia. Beauty emerging from contrast, meaning arising from resilience, and wonder present in every corner. These final hours of exploration reinforce the kingdom's status as a destination where nature, history, and human achievement intersect in ways few places on Earth can match. In leaving Saudi Arabia, travelers carry more than memories of landscapes. They carry impressions of a culture that values balance, identity, and continuity. The kingdom's wonders are not only visual but emotional, ethical, and intellectual, challenging visitors to see, reflect, and appreciate. From deserts to coasts, mountains to cities, Saudi Arabia reveals itself as a land of extraordinary depth, timelessness, and possibility, leaving an indelible mark on all who journey through its vast and varied terrain. As our journey comes to an end, the images of Saudi Arabia linger not just in the eyes, but in the heart. The soaring mountains of Asir, the timeless streets of AlUla, the bustling cities of Riyadh and Jeddah, the crystal waters of the Red Sea, and the vast solitude of the empty quarter all converge into a single truth. This is a land of contrasts that exist in perfect harmony. Saudi Arabia is more than landscapes. It is history, culture, resilience, and vision intertwined. Every visit leaves a mark, Every sight tells a story, and every experience deepens your connection to this extraordinary land. Carry these moments with you, and let Saudi Arabia's wonders inspire curiosity, awe, and a desire to explore even further. This is a kingdom that does not just exist, it resonates, and it will remain unforgettable in every sense. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed exploring Prague as much as I enjoyed guiding you through it. If you found this travel guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful destinations from around the world. Got a favorite spot in Prague? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, safe travels, and see you in the next video.